On today's show,
We've reached the halfway mark of the season, so it's time for some NBA market analysis.
which team needs to make a move? Who's become an elite player? Which team is undervalued?
That, plus we discuss Harden dropping Jamal Murray and the Spurs All-Star chances.
It's Tuesday, January 8th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 and Tennessee Honey. I'm Jay Skeets, alongside me as always, Tass Mellis, that's the Aussie Lee Ellis, and over yonder, well, that's the bearded one, that's Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo!
Hey-yo! Trey, what's up tonight?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters. And guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo has already started his wrestling villain training because look at this dastardly move he pulled against the Jazz last night, grabbing onto Joe Ingles' leg as the Bucks drive in for an easy basket. Maybe he's working on a submission move or something, but this is definite heel behavior, just grabbing onto a leg. Nonetheless, it brings us to today's question. What is the best NBA leg grab? There have been more than you think. The most famous, of course, is Jeff Van Gundy during the midst of a brawl between the Heat and Knicks, grabbing onto Alonzo Mourning's leg and just holding on for dear life. This is even crazier every time you see it, but there have been more. Like when Michael Beasley accidentally rubbed on Anthony Tolliver's leg rather than his own, and who can forget when Lee popularized the Mary Burrow leg lock in the wake of Matthew Dellavedova's leg locking scandal. Lee was out here in the streets of Turner just going crazy grabbing legs. But we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter. What is the best NBA leg grab? Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get those tweets in. On tonight's show, we're going to debate whether DeMar DeRozan and or LaMarcus Aldridge should make the All-Star team. We'll talk to 3D live from Oakland. We got a very solid play. But first, guys, this week, most teams, basically all the teams, officially reached the halfway point of the NBA season, having played 41 games, which means it's time for some new NBA market analysis. In the Starters Q2 quarterly report, Trey, you got your NBA portfolio ready to go. You need some more advice. We made you a lot of money last time, so what do you got for us here?
Yeah, I'm up right now, but my financial advisors over at Wu-Tang Financial are always telling me to diversify my bonds. But guys, which team needs diversification? Who needs to make a trade?
The Detroit Pistons. They've got an incredible Blake Griffin. And they made that move last year. To see what he's doing this year, this is basically all they could ask for. Andre Drummond is also playing well, but they're 4 games under 500, even with all of that, as Blake, approaches 30 years old here. This is the best Blake you're going to get, really.
Right.
You want to get something out of Blake, you need some guard play around this guy and Andre Drummond. When you saw them be successful in Los Angeles with DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin, you had a Chris Paul. You really need a guy to create. Again, Blake is doing everything he can, but Reggie Jackson just isn't himself. Maybe it's injuries, but he hasn't been what they thought they were getting when they signed him. Ish Smith out, definitely hurts. And maybe they could do it by committee if Stanley Johnson was very good and Luke Kennard was very good, but they just don't have it. They need a guard to desperately help those guys, and they need it sooner rather than later because Blake might miss some time. That still hasn't happened quite yet, although he's been extremely healthy to this point. He had a great offseason. It's just hard seeing Blake play this well after they made that big trade and not really getting anything to sort of help him out. Because he's got to be the ball handler, he's got to be the creator, he's got to be everything on that team.
And this is a team in the Pistons that want to make the playoffs.
That's why they made that
Especially in
trade.
the Eastern Conference, that's why they made the Blake trade. They got the new arena, they're trying to get some excitement there, put people in those seats. It helps if you can make the playoffs. Even if you lose in the first round, get in there. So you need a little help for Blake. That's a good one.
I don't think they have the assets, though,
Well,
really.
that's
the problem.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, they can package a couple of those guys, but outside of them adding a pick or something in, I just don't really see how they can get anything back significant.
I think they would add a pick because of what they did last year. It's kind of a slippery slope.
You have to kind of go all in right now
right.
while you've got Blake. But I'm actually going with the Houston Rockets. Now, I know they're flying right now, but it's only January. And we know that the Rockets are playing not until April. They're expecting to be playing until June. So that's another 25 games or so by the end of the season. They've actually shored up themselves a little bit with the ball handling by getting Austin Rivers, who's been decent for them. I just think they probably need another sort of 3-and-D guy, one of those guys that Daryl Morey likes to get, who can play a little defense, knock down a three-pointer. Trading Michael Carter-Williams gave them a $1.5 million trade exception and a roster space. So I actually think they are going to make a move. It's just what they can get out there. But remember, Mike D'Antoni only likes to play 8 or 9 guys, but he's got to make sure that they they get through this part of the season without any more injuries to any of their players. Chris Paul's out right now. Gordon's out right now. James Harden's been fantastic, but this is a heavy, heavy workload he's got right now. They need to manage his minutes a little bit down the stretch, I think, closer towards playoff time, because he does have a history of kind of running out of gas a little bit in the playoffs. So I think the Rockets need to just look at this.
What do you have in mind? Is there a name out there? Is it like a Wayne Ellington as a scorer, as a shooter? Maybe not so much defensively.
He's the sort of player I think they need. Someone who they don't need necessarily to have the ball in their hand a whole lot, but he can do a lot at both ends for them, because they've got, when Chris Paul comes back and James Harden's there, they've got the guys who are going to keep the ball in their hand. They just need a guy who's going to go out there, work hard, knock down those threes and do what the Rockets do, play their style, but also mop up a few minutes late in game. Can't have James Harden playing heavy, heavy minutes through January, February, March and April and expecting him to still be going strong in May or June.
Trevor Ariza might be available.
Well, he should be. I mean,
he would definitely help.
He is the sort of player. I just don't know, what the Rockets would be prepared to give up to him, given that he's a free agent, of course, at the end of this season. But remember, the Rockets are in a win now, right now. They've got those draft picks out there. Spend one if you have to get a guy like Ariza. He's been there. He's a proven winner. He knows their system. Maybe that's the option.
I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. I'm going to go with one of the worst teams in the league. They can make a move. They can make a trade. Get a guard. Get a point guard to pair with Devin Booker. I don't mind the experiment of trying to see if Booker's like a Harden type of guy and having him sort of run the offense, but he really shouldn't be doing that. He's a scorer. That's what he does. He gets buckets. He would be helped. It would help him out, his development, I think, with a good point guard, especially one that can play some great defense beside him. That's where he lacks. Terry Rozier's name was thrown around early in the season. It makes a lot of sense if they could make a move and the Celtics were really to part ways with him, because they got Marcus Smart locked up for 4 years, 52. They got Kyrie Irving as their star point guard. Rozier's been better when he started. I'd love to see him get that opportunity in the NBA. Now, they may just wait and try to sign the guy, and maybe that's in play here, but I hope it just happens at some point that Booker gets a good, solid, young point guard, because he fits their timeline, too. In terms of Ayton and Booker's age, Terry Rozier's not old. So I'd like to see that happen, or at least some sort of guard.
But he's that insurance for when Kyrie goes down.
He is the insurance, but that's going to be, you've got Smart and Kyrie once you're eventually locked up with him. I mean, that's a lot of money for your backcourt.
No, for sure it is. But if Kyrie does get injured and misses time, they know that Rozier is ready to go.
Yeah, he was great when he starts, but he's not that great coming off the bench this year. All right, next one, Trey.
The league's biggest names are well established at this point, but which player has joined the ranks of the NBA's elite this season, guys? Give me your hottest blue chipper.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, like a guy like Jokic, who's going to make probably his first All-Star game. Okay, we're all agreeing he's already in that elite class.
He's been chipping blue.
Yeah, let's go a little deeper. I will go with De'Aaron Fox. I think he's right in the mix. I think he's going to be a borderline All-Star this season already in his second year. But he's putting up 18 points per game, 7.5 assists per game, 3.5 boards, nearly 2 steals, shoots well from the floor, 47%, 37 from deep. That's nice. And he's got the Kings at 500, 40 games in here at 20-20, and he has taken over. If you've watched them, they're very entertaining. He at times just takes over fourth quarters. So he is nudging that way into that blue chipper elite sort of level, and he's very, very exciting. That's why I give that.
His ballpark, he's really close.
Yeah.
The confidence he has in his jumper from year 1 to year 2 has been wild.
He hasn't done it all by himself, though. Buddy Hield has been great.
Buddy, yeah.
He has become an elite three-point shooter. Right now, he is third in makes, 7th in attempts, and second in percentage for those who have made 100 or more.
That's great.
He is fantastic. He's super hot from the corners as well. That's his sweet spot. He won't play in the All-Star game, but he will be there for the All-Star weekend in the three-point shootout.
You're calling it, eh?
He will be there for sure. He's a guy shown incremental improvement over his 3 seasons in the NBA. 4-3. Can't remember what he's in now, but because he got traded halfway through.
It's not 2 and it's not 5, so 3 or 4 is good.
But
well, he got 2 years older this year.
That's right.
He must be getting better.
But a guy who really believes in his own shot as well. Now, remember that first season or half season in New Orleans? He could not shoot at all. He's really worked on it and become elite level.
Yeah, a couple other blue chippers too, Trey. You got Pascal Siakam. You could throw him in the mix there. D'Angelo Russell, I think, too, gets some love. So what's the next question?
Investing is all about buying low and selling high and retiring early. I'm trying to pull a Jimmy Butler and get out of here by the time I'm 35, which is next month. So, guys, tell me which undervalued team stock is going to rise during the second half of the season.
The Utah Jazz. I think it's time they turn the corner. They kind of do this annually anyways. Second half is when they start going. And I just believe in Donovan Mitchell, believing in his shot a little bit more, his mid-ranger. He can do that. He doesn't have to get to the bucket each and every time. I think they just start to believe in themselves since that Kyle Korver trade most recently. And their next 12 of 15 are at home.
The schedule gets
that
easier.
helps. I think everything is sort of just blending together on that team. It's just a rough start, but I think they will be a playoff team undoubtedly by the end of the season.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, I'm actually going with the Boston Celtics because...
Celtics? They're undervalued?
Yeah, they're undervalued because right now they're 5th in the Eastern Conference because we all thought they were going to be 1 or 2. Got off to a pretty slow start. Things have started to come together for them. And also, if you look at those teams above them, particularly Philadelphia, there may be a little bit of internal drama happening in Philadelphia.
Jimmy?
And then, of course, you've got Indiana, who have been very, very good, but maybe punching a little above their weight right now. I think the Celtics are a better overall team. After that sluggish start, they're starting to get it together. I think they'll finish top 4.
All right, undervalued teams, the Celtics, the Jazz. Let's hear from you guys. Jump on Twitter, hashtag the starters. Help our man Trey out with his NBA portfolio with the Q2. When we come back, Q2 to 3D. Yeah, there he is. Uncle Splash joins us live from Oakland to set up a little players-only doubleheader action.
Looking sharp, 3D.